Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Let's do an update after we got the weekly close just yesterday. Where did we close? Just above the EMA 8 in the red. So crisis averted, at least for now. We're still unconfirmed on this tweezer top, right? When will this confirm? If we make a new lower low, that would be something to watch out for. However, right, the bulls are still in charge after this nice big up move. Retest of the EMA 8, a couple weeks ago. Move back up, rejection off the 200 week, that purple line right there, purple, pink, whatever color blindness you are. Tweezer top. So far, not playing out too bad. If we lose this low, we're probably in a bit of trouble. We have one final safety net, kind of this EMA 21, or this high right here, where we closed at 20,900, right? That's below, right before, this is the FTX scandal, right? So if we lose that, we're in bigger trouble, likely going back to test these lows, if not lower. But, focus on the facts. The facts are we've made a higher low as of last weekly close. Like to see a bounce here back to the upside for the bulls. And we need to, not only knock on the 25K door again, but we need to bust it down in a big way, because we have, the 200 week resistance. We also have, right, this kind of resistance zone that we're here from all the way back in August, right? Still holding us down. So Bitcoin needs to break free of that before the bigger bulls can show up. Now, speaking of, indicators, let's look at, the facts again. The stochastic RSI, right? Based on momentum, starting to lose here, but, by definition from the creators of this, you want to wait until both lines, right? Here's the average in the red and the stochastic in the blue. You want to wait till both are back in the shaded area before you can kind of confirm that momentum is losing. So we don't have that yet. We're still got some momentum to the upside, right? As long as you're up here, your Ferrari's on the highway, right? So and you're pedal to the metal. Speaking of, good things as well, stochastic RSI on the weekly, zooming out, right? Your bull markets are when we're up here. Bear markets are, you guessed it, down, down, and down. And so if you want to clean this up, you want to decide on a, bull bear side of the fence, it's kind of right there. From the below, just below 55, and just above 50, really, right? You can kind of get fine-tune this, but this is kind of the bullish and bearish going back to 2015 here. And if you want to pull out in the BLX, it even plays out all the way back even earlier than that. But you can see where we are right now. We need to bounce in a big way. We cannot be messing around with this lower 50s on the RSI. Otherwise, we might have temptation to come back to the bearish side here, right? Winnie the Pooh might get us. That's what we need to be looking at. We need to bounce and we need to get out. And not only that, we need to make a new high. Kind of like this area back in here, right? This is what we're looking for. Right? You can kind of hold this level and kind of play around with it, but then you need to make a move and get out of there. If we do that, then I think the bigger bulls could likely be showing up. We're likely above 25K on prices if this scenario happens, and we're likely below 21K if this scenario happens. So that's what I would be watching for this week, next week, pretty much all of March. This could take a while to play out. So the bigger one, right, that we're concerned about is the Fisher transform has triggered a sell down on the weekly. The last time we did that after an uptrend was all the way back in November of 2022. Okay, now the good news is, right, we've broken this multi-year kind of downtrend, right? You can see this, the lower peaks, lower troughs, breakout back in early January, and been great ever since. Now it doesn't mean we have to go down, but the odds are, right, the weekly transform on this Fisher does not have a lot of fake outs. So that is a cause for concern, but don't try to front run it just yet. We want to wait for these lines to be going parallel, right? You want to wait for this kind of action, right? You don't want to try to guess, because this is a hinge right now, right? This top part in this blue is what you're looking at, right? See that hinge, right? And depending on where we close, if we close at 25K, you won't even see this, right? It will not confirm trigger down. If we close 24, 25K by, 6.5 days from now, it will actually kind of start running like this, and you won't even see this downward. So that's what we need to be watching for bulls. Now, For the bears, if you're wanting lower prices, you'd actually want to close at, I would say, roughly 22K or lower, and then you would actually get this confirmation down, and we start running parallel down, and then the odds of us continuing down would increase based on this factual data. So that's what we're looking for on the Fisher transform. Hopefully this helps someone out there get a bigger picture. Now, on the shorter time frames, what are we looking at for today and tomorrow kind of thing? Well, look at this 4-hour chart. And I invite you to look at the Bollinger Bands, probably the tightest squeeze maybe in history. I mean, you thought this was narrow. Look at where we are. You can't even see the line, right? Look how separated this is. So a bigger move likely coming. Now, is this the start already, right? Nice and big to the upside. We'd love to kind of mirror this back to the upside, right? And get us back to 23.5 in the next day or so. That would be great, right? Here's the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So that's 22.8, 22.9. Get back above there, and then maybe we can get some more momentum to the higher grounds. So interesting to watch this narrow volatility, right? If you zoom in even more on the hourly chart, I mean, look at how much consolidation. Now, why would we get something like this? Well, you got to look at what happened before that move. Usually any kind of major move to the downward side or the upside is going to just need some consolidation, time to digest what the hell just happened. And that's exactly what we're getting. And now the 4-hour chart, right, zoom out a little bit more. Look how narrow we got. That's probably the narrowest I've ever seen the Bollinger Bands on the 4-hour chart for sure. So we'll see if we can get some upwards momentum here over the next handful of hours, depending on when you watch this, right? See, if we're back at 23K and we have an explosive move, it shouldn't be no shock. It might shock some people, but this would not shock anyone that knows what the hell is going on. Tighter Bollinger Bands mean less volatility, and likely more volatility coming in the near future. It's like a gun being loaded, and then here's the explosive move. So for bulls, you want to hug that top line. You want the mouth to continue opening. This is the ideal scenario for the bulls over the next handful of hours, right? Just you want to see these Bollinger Bands diverge from each other. You want the price to continue to hug. You do not want to see this start to close like this, right? Or even sooner, right? It could do something like that. That's not what we want. We want to see the lines diverge from each other, and that's that, right? So just like this, right? When the mouth starts to open, right? That's when your bigger moves come. Look at this big candle, and then when they start to close up here, see that top how it closed? That tells you that move is ending, right? So hopefully that helps someone out there learn a little bit more than you knew before you started. So if you did, thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, Patreon for more help navigating the markets, more content as well. I upload a lot of extra videos and Telegram daily. So quote of the day: no one can figure out what you're worth but you. Excellent quote. Asmo Star. All right, car of the day. I saw this over the weekend, not on the street, obviously, but at car show. Pretty high-end car show, Concours d'Elegance in Amelia Island, Florida. This was there. The Aston Martin Valkyrie. Not very many of these produced. This was kind of the road version. I actually saw the race car version, which is even less. I think 40 ever, and mostly for the track. They don't even come with air conditioning. Center seat only, all carbon. Everything is carbon. The engineering behind this is mind-blowing. So let me see if I got my real picture that I got. It's right here, right? Look at this. Look at this track version. Look at the door. There's just one single seat in here. It's all carbon fiber. Look at the arms to turn the steering wheel. This is all carbon inside of here. It's all cut open. I got a bunch more pictures. I should have uploaded a little bit more. But Aston Martin Valkyrie, absolutely mind-blowing. How intricate this is, especially the rear. I mean, the wing looks like it's floating. Insane looking car in real person. You could like jump over it. It's like 2.5 feet tall. It's really, really short race car. Pretty impressive. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Maybe about cars of the day for the rest of this week. I can just upload cars that I saw. I mean, look at this guy right next to it. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive show. So I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to like if you haven't. Happy to have you on Telegram and help you out further there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.